Joey Reese and Billy Butcher.
No, like the closest things were like people in the crowd or like getting in fights. Once we were on the Ska Against Racism tour and our road manager, like I think.
Well, do you want to save this for the cast?
I can't even remember what happened though.
Oh,
I think that they were. I don't know if they were trying to shortchange us or what, but they were trying to get in a like fist fight with the road manager for the whole Ska Against Racism tour. And then all the bands were just like, they were like, hey man, this dude's about to get his ass kicked. Let's go jump these guys. And by the time I got there, about 15 dudes had jumped these 3 guys. It was over.
Okay. All right.
It's not very exciting.
We'll see where we can go.
Okay.
No, you're good. All right, you guys. Patreon peeps. Pickle Peeps.
Pickle Peeps.
The Patreon Pickle Peeps. That's a tongue twister in itself. You guys, this is your section. This is what we do for you guys. And I'm going to start that off by saying I am on my second glass of Jameson. And so as this one, if you listen very closely to this next hour, 45 minutes to an hour, I'm going to be drinking Jameson, and I'm not going slow with it. I'm going full throttle, so you could listen to the devolving of this show. Because Reese is partaking of the Captain Morgan white rum, and I'm doing this over here. So this could get horrible. This is what you guys paid for. It could get very bad, and the wheels could fall off. Like you could be like, I can't believe I paid for this crap. But at the same time, it could be good too. Now,
could be good.
Now, on the last show, Reese, that is one of the horn songs that plays on my daughter's horn in her car.
How is that going?
That is fantastic. I had
it's
to drop
installed and everything.
Yep, I had to drop my car off the other day. The power steering box broke, so I had to drop my car off. And I'm like, Ella, can you come pick me up? So she pulls in the parking lot. And as I'm walking up to the car, it goes, bum, 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 bum. And then I just get in the car and she drives away.
You were just like, my heart grew 3 sizes as a father.
Exactly. And then I get in the car and she's got Bouncing Souls playing, and I'm just like, I raised the perfect, children. It was fantastic.
You have to. I think you should write a book, Joe.
Yeah.
This is how to be a good father.
Yep, exactly.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and it starts off. You hear that? That's a little J-Mo and Ice, people. A little J-Mo and Ice. So, Reese, on the last one, on the last cast, episode 11, we were talking about like stuff backstage, and so I talked about
Plank Eye.
I talked about feeding olive juice to Joe from Chevelle.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any of that stuff? Like, I want to revisit that because when I listened to the episode later, you didn't. Like, I just kind of talked the whole time. Like, I think the entire paid portion was just me talking.
Okay. Well, that's why people pay. They're like, Joe's going to tell some funny stories. Reese is going to say, yeah.
Well, did you have anything weird that ever happened like backstage, or how I talked about like the Amber Lynn thing or the Chevelle? Like, did you guys ever have anything like that?
Probably if you ask other bands, they have stories about us where they're just like, yeah, if I ever took up all this space, it sucks being in a ska band. You know, like if your band has 4 people, green rooms are made for you. Like 4 people, and you can invite friends back. Yeah. If your band has 8 people and there's like 1 extra other person watching merch or anything, it sucks. Especially if you're not the headliners, because you get like the side thing. There's so many times when your green room is like, well, I guess we're going to sit in the van.
Right.
That sucks.
Right. Like, you've
But
just
yeah, like,
sat in the van for 9 hours
and then you're gonna
driving,
go do it
and then
again.
you're like, "Well, I might as well just go sit back in the van."
I'm not sick of the smell in here yet. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Let's stink it up a bit.
It's just it smells like farts. It doesn't smell like rancid farts.
Mhm.
Now, did you
Backstage.
brought up interesting point. When bands bring people backstage, how did you like that? Did you like that? Were there ever weird situations?
Oh,
Because
plenty of times.
we had a go-to, and I'll talk about it, a little bit later. But we had a go-to for dealing with those issues. But I always felt like backstage was like for us. And
Yeah.
again, like this may sound so rude to people, but you have to understand nothing in your life is like private. So when you're
Yeah.
out on tour, nothing is private. You think it is. Like when you go to a show, like you think that the band or whoever you're going to see, that they get all this privacy and they get all this, their hotel rooms and all these different things. But when you think about it, even hotel rooms, like it's not private. It's a hotel room.
Plus, you're not getting your own room if you get a
No.
hotel room. It's
Yeah.
you
and you're
up to
sleeping
8 other
with
people.
someone. Yeah, you're sleeping with someone. Like I slept with a dude for 4 years of my life. 4 years of my life, me and Bram slept with each other.
You and Bram were
Roommates.
tour wives.
Yeah,
I mean-
exactly. Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
ever catch yourselves cuddling?
I caught myself cuddling Kyle once.
That's hot.
We were in the van. We hadn't gotten the tour truck yet. We were in the van that had the bench seat that folded down into the bed. And it was the first time. It was the very first time we were traveling across the country from Michigan to Southern California.
Okay.
And the heat, we were in the Rockies and it was freezing. And we didn't have blankets. Like we thought, oh, we're going to California. We're going to drive to California. We're going to drive down through Texas and New Mexico and Arizona. It's going to be warm. So like nobody really brought like blankets and stuff.
Oh no.
From what I can remember. And so then you start getting in the Rockies, and I mean it's 30 degrees up there. And so I was freezing laying in the bed, and it got to the point where I was trying to sleep and the bench is folded down and it's like me, Kyle, and like 2 other guys. We're in there like sardines, like just like, nuts to butts. And we're just all in there. And I ended up waking up, like at a certain point, I woke up freezing. And like my head, like my forehead was nestled like in Kyle's neck. It was in like where his neck connects to his shoulder. Like I was in there, like I had my face like buried in his neck for warmth. And I woke up and realized it and was like, what the heck am I doing? And I didn't care. Like I
went back to sleep.
I just went back to sleep because
he wasn't awake.
Warm.
You're like,
he wasn't awake. No, he was still sleeping. And so I was like, dude, I don't care. I'm staying like this. It was the little bit of like warmth that I had. So like I remember that stuff. But other than that, it was like me and Bram, and so people like, it's not like your entire life. If you need to poop, you never get like your bathroom. You're pooping in a McDonald's. You're pooping at a church that has 4 other stalls and other people in it.
Or even backstage.
Yeah, backstage.
You don't know what you're going to get. It's Russian roulette.
Yeah, clubs do not have nice bathrooms. Like it's not yours at home. There's always somebody. And then if there's not somebody, it's a dressing room that has its own bathroom or a hotel room that has its own bathroom. But like when your buddies are like, there's 3 other people in the room and you're in there pooping, it's not really privacy. Like you can hear everything. And everywhere you go. So then you go to the venue. There's no privacy. If you're having a bad day, that's another thing people don't realize is when you're out on tour, like you have bad days. I remember we were on tour when you were told that, was it Estrella? when the day that he
Oh.
passed away.
Matt Estrella.
Yeah, I was. We were on tour together when you found out that happened, and when you explain it in that Brave Saint Saturn song and how you collapsed on the bathroom floor and you were a wreck. Like, I was with you that day, and you have to
Yeah.
get up on stage then, and you have to be Reese Roper from Five Iron Frenzy, and you have to get up and you have to jump off the drum kit and flop on the floor, and you have to do all your goofy moves, and people pay the ticket because they want that package of the Insiders, they want that package of Five Iron. But what they don't realize is, people break up with girlfriends, or people find out that their marriages are falling apart, or people
Right.
find out that their friends are sick, or family, and there's just certain days you just don't feel like going out on stage and doing what you do and putting on a smile. But I guess that's what we're paid to do. And so that's what we did.
Yeah.
So bringing that full circle, when it comes to like the backstage, that is a place where I always thought, like, dude, we get no privacy anywhere.
Yeah.
We go out for 3 months. It's 3 months of no privacy. And so that backstage is just kind of like a time to like clear your mind and stuff. And it's usually somebody snuck in back there, some dude who, like, you're trying to like clear your mind, get ready for the show. And, somebody's back there just asking you dumb questions, and the same question that you've answered 1,000 times. If they ever read any article about your band, it would have been
Right.
answered. How'd you get your name? Something like that. Where are you from? You're just like, oh, that stuff used to drive me nuts.
How's the tour?
Yeah, how's the tour going? Hey,
Dude, we gotta postpone. We need to talk about sometime the 1999 GMA Dove Awards.
I wasn't at those. I
show.
was on my honeymoon.
Oh, that's the one where you won.
Yeah, I was gone. I was on a cruise.
So we played it. We played it the day Columbine happened.
Yes.
And Micah's sister was locked in the choir room, like she was at Columbine. We spent the whole day watching the news, like calling back and forth, deciding whether or not we're going to leave, and played a show in front of these cocks from the music industry.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. God bless them. Some people that I think Jesus would have turned some tables on were in the show, and they got an earful from me. So we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, so stay tuned, Patreon.
I want to talk about the GMAs, like just a whole segment on that.
You know what? Let's do that for episode 13.
Sure.
We'll make note of it right now. So GMAs, the whole GMA weekend will be that. We have some great stories.
Yeah.
I have some fantastic stories. Being stuck in an elevator with one of the largest Christian celebrities of all time. And so you'll hear that next episode. But
okay,
when it comes to like that backstage and those kids that come backstage, or people, did you ever have something like as a band, like a band joke, a band gag that you would do? Because we did.
So we had varying things. Like, it would just depend on who you're on tour with. We did like when we were out with the Echoing Green, Joey, the singer of the Echoing Green, really did not like. And now everybody who knows Joey loves Joey because he's one of the best people ever.
Yeah.
But you love Joey. He's awesome. He's funny. He's great. He is really foundational. He helped us record our first demo album that ended up going to Brainstorm and Alarma. That kind of started the ball for us to play that festival in Southern California where Matt Morginski forced me to stage dive.
Yes.
That whole thing. Anyway, Joey on tour with us, because Echoing Green ended up signing to 5 Minute Walk, and they went out with us. He was really he had a phobia of our peeing in bottles, which we talked about before.
Yeah.
Which I think every band does. You did it to Chevelle. So he had this phobia. So the last show we played, I can remember that we had all collected a bunch of pee bottles, and we were chucking them to each other over him from each side of the stage. So he was trying to put on a good show, trying to play, and he knew that we were just Andy and I just chucking pee bottles over him. Sometimes getting a little too close, but we kept doing it. One of the other things we would do, we called the spreading of the contents.
Oh boy.
This was mostly Keith. Keith initiated this. Keith's really good at, because he's such a nice guy. People don't expect him to be like a practical jokester, but like he invented the spreading of the contents and then kind of would initiate it a lot. So when the other bands were playing, we'd go over and take everything out of their bags. And not messy. Like the goal was not to like trash it. It was to put everything out in as much order as possible. So whatever was in their bag was fair game. So a laptop or headphones or underwear or clothes. Sometimes bands would go in with their whole suitcase and be like, because I need to change before the show.
Yeah.
So you would just lay it out. So they'd come back and the entire floor of their dressing room would be all their shit laid out in the most orderly fashion. Like, this is where pens go. This is where this goes. So it was like you were messing with them like on another level. Like, not we're assholes, but like,
yeah.
Like,
man, I wish I
have to put all this stuff away.
Yeah.
Well, it's really orderly, so it's going to be kind of easy. We did that to so many bands.
That's funny. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I know. I remember that made me think of a story. We were touring with Deluxe Tone Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
And so these are like this greaser, like rockabilly, psychobilly band.
Yeah.
And they had a trailer that they had all their merch in and, their clothes and their suitcases. And they had a spare gas can and it tipped over. And so the gas poured out all over the back of their trailer.
Oh, no.
And all of like their suitcases were soaked in gasoline. So their clothes reeked like gasoline. So we got to like the next city and they're like, oh crap, all our stuff is like soaked in gasoline. So they go to a laundromat and they wash their clothes. Like they spend like the afternoon, whatever, an hour and a half, something like that, washing their clothes. And then they get their clothes out and they're like, they still smell like gasoline. Like that doesn't come out easy. I mean, it was soaked. It wasn't like, they spilled a little, it had been sitting for hours in gas. And so they ran them through again, like washed their clothes again. Still, everything smelled like gasoline. Their shirts, like their merch shirts, like kids were like, I'll take the green Deluxe Tone Rockets shirt and it reeked like gas.
What's more rockabilly than that?
Exactly. They spilled gas on everything. And they smelled like it the entire tour. It was so funny.
Oh my gosh. So the whole tour, they smelled like gas?
A whole tour. Like they would just walk in, you would smell gas before you would see them. Like,
I wonder how many brain cells they killed.
Yeah, how
just
far
smelling
behind
gas
us,
all the time.
Yeah. How far behind us was Deluxe Tour? And then you'd smell gas, and then they'd come walking in. Hey guys, what's up? We got stuck in. Yeah.
Everybody, put out your cigarettes.
Yeah, seriously.
It's gonna be a fire.
Exactly. Just a Molotov cocktail just walked into the ballroom.
Oh my gosh.
We used to do this thing backstage where I went through a phase, like growing up, I hated spicy food. And then I think everybody kind of goes through a phase where they're in their 20s and their taste buds kind of open up and they venture out and they start to enjoy spicy food. And then I took it to 10 levels higher. And I used to always look for like the hottest hot sauces. And so I got this stuff and you can Google it. It was called Pure Cap. And all it was 2 ingredients. Excuse me, that was horrible. It was like a burp, almost throw up. So the stuff was called Pure Cap. It came in a medicine like
Cap is capsaicin?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's called Pure Cap. It came in a like an eyedropper bottle that was inside like a prescription bottle. Jeez, so it had like a child-proof stuff. And then you had to sign a waiver at the place where in Virginia, do they have garden fresh salsa at the grocery stores?
Not. No.
Okay. Okay. So in Detroit, we have this stuff. It's this amazing salsa that you can go to. You can go to the grocery stores in Detroit and buy it. It's called Garden Fresh Salsa.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
started by this guy.
Ketchup is too spicy for Virginia.
Oh, yeah. It was started by this guy named like Greg Aronson. And he used to run this shop called the Hot Zone. And all
Okay.
it was you walked in there, he made homemade horseradish sauce, and then he sold all these hot sauces. Like all it was a store that sold hot sauces. Well, that guy ended up making like his own salsa. It like took off. He makes it in 5-gallon buckets. Still to this day, the company is like a multi-million-dollar company, and they make all their salsa in 5-gallon buckets. And like 3 years ago, Campbell's Soup Company bought them out. And so Campbell's Soup Company bought them for like, you can look it up on the internet. I want to say it was like 150 million. And he had like 100 employees. Bought them out for like 150 million, bought it. He said, I'm not selling unless you keep it the same, 5-gallon buckets, all this stuff. So Campbell's runs it the exact same way, Garden Fresh Salsa. So he sells his company for 150 million. He keeps like 50 million for himself because he started the company, and he gives every employee $1 million.
What?
Yeah. Like the
That's
janitor got $1
so
million.
Cool.
Yeah. Every single person, the person who cuts the onions, $1 million. Janitor, $1 million.
So
Everybody
cool.
got paid. And so, so at that store, you had to sign a waiver, and you got this stuff called Pure Cap. It had 2 ingredients: vegetable oil and capsaicin. For those of you that don't know, I'm going to try and give you a little science lesson, but I am not smart. But capsaicin.
So you are smart. Quit pretending.
So how about you explain it? Capsaicin, am I
I don't-
correct? So
It's just
capsaicin is the
chemical.
agent that makes things hot. So
yes.
the amount and the concentration of capsaicin, that's what makes things hot.
Most
other kinda cool-
mammals have a reaction to it.
Yeah, and this is another cool
Birds
thing that I
don't.
learned that I never really thought about, but I just learned recently is when you eat something that's hot, again, you guys may have known this. I just found this out, but I think it is something, if you're driving, listening to this, it's something to ponder, to maybe pause this and ponder this. The capsaicin, like things that are hot and make our like mouths like on fire, they don't actually radiate heat, right? You're cutting a pepper and you're popping it in your mouth. And if that pepper is 40 degrees from your refrigerator, it's 40 degrees in your mouth. Like that pepper does not change heat. What changes is the capsaicin tricks your nerve endings to thinking that they're burning.
Yeah.
And your body is reacting to that scam.
It's some plant's defense mechanism. You know, that mammals would eat that plant and then feel pain or feel like they're burning or and we use it for amusement.
Yeah. And so going with that perfect, segue back into it, bringing it around is I had this stuff called Pure Cap. And then what we would do is when people started to become annoying in the dressing room, so it would be our green room or our dressing room, and then people would sneak back in, or, they'd be the friend of a friend of a friend who was the opening band. We always had a thing in the band that what we would do is when someone started getting annoying, somebody in the band would go, Joe, did you tell him about the chip trick? And like, people would be like, oh, what's a chip trick? And we're like, the chip trick, like you take a dab of this, this medicine dropper, this hottest hot sauce at the time on the planet. You put it on a chip and you eat it, and see if you can do it. So these like annoying kids or these annoying adults, and what you're supposed to do is with this stuff, you're supposed to put like 2 drops in like a pot of chili.
Yeah. To make it hot.
Yeah, you're not supposed to just eat this stuff. You're supposed to put 2 drops in a pot of chili, and then it makes the entire pot of chili hot. So we would like drizzle, because in the green room there's chips, there's all sorts of food available. So whatever was available, we would put this hot sauce all over a chip and be like, all right, here's the deal. If you want to keep hanging out, you got to eat this. And 99 out of, I mean, I can't even remember anyone who like survived this and was like, we were like, okay, you can hang out. Everybody would
hang
eat.
out. You had to eat it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if we knew that this person was annoying, we would be like, hey, we're going to do this chip trick, blah, 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 blah. And then they would eat it and it would be so ridiculously hot that like they would have to leave. They would have to go somewhere because they were in such pain or it would make them sick to their stomach or something.
Or they had to go to the hospital.
They had to go to the hospital that they were no longer our problem. So we would do that backstage. And we did that for like a tour or two. Where we would do this chip thing. But at the same time, a lot of times I would do it with them. So we weren't just like making them do it. I would do it and I would deal with the heat and I'd power through it. And they'd be like, oh, well, if he can do it, I'm going to do it. And then they would just be buckled, just crippled by it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you could handle a drop for these kids.
They could.
See, so most of the people in Five Iron get that. Like they'll have real close friends back or family members and have a talk with them. Like, hey, this is not, it's like real close friends. So they're not going to be like, oh, cool, you're Reese.
Right.
To prep you. I'm bringing this guy back. He's really a big fan. Could you just say hi to him? And then I'll tell him to, go sit down or whatever.
Yeah.
Except Leonore. She is the most gregarious person I've ever met. And like without any ill intention or she just loves people. She loves people and
she didn't love me enough though. I wanted to be more than friends. I wanted to be more than friends. And she wouldn't be. I wanted to be more than friends, and she wouldn't be more than friends with me. But go on. She was gregarious and would bring people backstage.
Fine, just fine. Yeah, man. She still brings back whoever. She'll just all of a sudden you'll just be like, oh, cool. This is the guy that tried to shoot me at the last show. Did you pat him down at least? No.
Right.
It just like that. Just it is like Russian roulette.
Yeah.
Leonore is going to bring back.
Cold Sore Cliff, and he likes to kiss people. I thought he could come back and kiss all you guys.
He's got a crush on you, Reese. Get your neck ready.
Cold Sore Cliff. Yeah.
So that happens. She brings a lot of people back. We need to do some sort of hot sauce.
It works. I'm telling you, it works. This day and age in 2021, you'd get sued. Somebody would sue you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I downplayed it because as I'm telling the story, I'm like, wow, I sound like an a-hole. Like we were total a-holes back then. And we were, 19, 20 years old. And we thought that was funny. Nowadays, the way that some people, it turned out, like it was horrible. Like there were people that were crippled by it. I mean, they were done. And so here they are, like, and I wonder, like, I wonder why there aren't more Insiders fans because we did this to people.
Killed them.
Yeah, instead of like chit chat with them and soaking it in, I was like, no, man, this is my green room. I'm going to kill you with this. And yeah, like we screwed some people up. I mean, people who were like, oh, the hottest thing that I've ever eaten is milk. And then they're
like,
eating
I've never shot blood before. Thank you, Joe.
Exactly.
This is life-changing.
Yeah. And like as a 44-year-old man, I always want to make sure that on every podcast, it always comes up on every podcast. I think I say my age. As a 44-year-old man.
I always do too. It is hard to be 32.
I know.
And have this many gray hairs.
Yeah. Well, when you get as old as me, buddy, the girls just stop texting. I look as
good as you do.
The girls stop texting. You don't get it's awful.
Oh.
It's awful. So you got nothing to look forward to at 44.
Okay.
But anywho, so I think like, man, why didn't we have more friends, or more fans? Because this is what we did. Like some kid was like, oh my gosh, I get to hang out with the insiders. And we tortured him. Like we tortured him. It was awful. I wish I could go to each city. I wish I could do something where every kid that we ever did that to, I could get them in one place and like cook them dinner, have like a nice night with them. Well, that sounded weird, but like,
put your hand on their thigh.
Yeah, make out, little Frenching action.
A little bit.
Make it up to him.
Send him home.
Make it up to him. Yeah, and send him home. Pat him on the butt. Send him home.
Send him home.
So yeah, but that was like one of the things that like we did. And it came back to haunt me. Because I think I told this story already too, but it was because of that. If you've ever heard my Greek amphitheater story, where Gwen Stefani, when we played the Greek amphitheater at Ska-Mania.
Yeah, that's on your list.
Yeah.
To talk about. Okay.
So when we played the Greek amphitheater for Ska-Mania, Gwen Stefani was supposed to show up. She was so Parker from the Aquabats did our merch. He drew our merch, and so he was friends with Gwen Stefani. He was coming to our show, and he was like, "Hey, why don't you come check these guys out? Whatever." So she's like, "Okay, I'll come." So she was on our guest list for the Greek amphitheater show.
Jeez, Pete.
So the way my brain remembers this story, I'm sure if insiders are listening to this, they're like, that did not go this way. But this is the way I remember this going, was that she actually did stop by the show. Like she came. And all I remember is I'm thinking like, it's like, yeah, she's here.
I played at that show too.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So Gwen Stefani, she only lived like a mile from the Greek amphitheater. Like she lived very close.
I would have shown more skin.
Yeah. She's a good looking lady. Holy smoke. She's on my hall pass list. Well, I'm not married anymore, so.
You have an extensive hall pass list.
Yeah, now I'm just have a creepy, these are the people I want to do list. It goes from a hall pass list.
Lee Majors.
Creepy. Yeah, exactly. Who's the guy underneath the Chewbacca costume? I want that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He had pretty lips. And so, yeah, so we get like the text or whatever that like, hey, she's here and she wants to say hi. And so we're like, okay, well, let's real quick pray before the show, and then we'll see if she's out there and see if we can meet her or whatever. So we had just got done doing this hot sauce prank. And because it's vegetable oil and capsaicin, it repels water. And so I got some on my finger and I washed my hands thoroughly.
Oh no.
But it didn't matter. So we go and we pray, and we're sitting in the dressing room and we're praying, and I itch my eye.
Okay, I thought you were holding somebody's penis instead of their hands. This is better.
Yeah, that was later in the night.
Okay.
But at this point, I itch my eye, and it's like I just got pepper sprayed. Like in the middle of the prayer, I itch my eye, and I'm like, yeah. And I like run over to the middle of the prayer. Everyone's looking at me like I see like, like Bo and Nate's like head snap up. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I got hot sauce in my eye. I run over to the sink and I'm panicking because everything that goes along with being pepper sprayed is what is happening to me. So it's now gotten into my eye. It's attacking my tear duct. It's going down into my mucus glands. And so my nose, I said that weird, nose. My nose is like starting to pour snot out of my one nostril. My eye feels like it's got glass in it because of the capsaicin. It's bloodshot. It's swelling. And I'm like holding my eye open with my right hand, and I'm just splashing water into it. And it was like at that moment that everyone's like, That like there's a knock on the door. They're like, "Insiders, you got 5 minutes," and Gwen Stefani's out here. She wants to say hi.
No.
I'm swollen. I'm panicking. I don't think I'm going to live the next 10 minutes, let alone say hi to Gwen Stefani. So none of that matters to me. I'm trying to figure out what's going on my face. And then we got to go out. We got to go out on stage. Like, we open Ska Mania every night. We were the third of the big three. And so we opened. And I always, when I hold the microphone, people can't see this video, like me and you looking at each other. But when I hold the microphone, I cup I cup the balls, like I cup the ball of the microphone. So there's the handle, and then there's like the microphone part that's like the round part. So I kind of cup that in the palm of my hand. And what would be like, so if you looked at your hand right now, like you were holding a gun, that's how I would like hold my hand. And then my trigger finger, I would put under my nose. So I always knew that like my face would be like 2 inches from the microphone. So I start singing, just like being pepper sprayed, the sweat and everything starts to reactivate the capsaicin, all that stuff. So here we are, like probably the biggest show on the tour, at least at the biggest venue, the Greek Amphitheater. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's legendary. I mean, that's where all the big stars play LA. So my upper lip, from having my finger there, my upper lip is red and swollen. I can feel it like swelling, like I got punched. The side of my nose is swollen. All my pores are just like soaked in that capsaicin. My eye is swollen, almost shut. It's bloodshot. I mean, I was a wreck for that show, all because of that stupid hot sauce. And after that night, never did it again. I never did that.
That was the end of it.
That was the end of it. I was like,
I don't want anybody to experience this level of pain at any moment in their life.
That was it. That was the last time I did it.
Oh my gosh.
So that's that story.
So I'm going to tell you our backstage story about, number one, that's amazing that you had that Gwen Stefani connection. I would say that she doesn't know about our band, but she has like a line of jewelry. She names the jewels after ska bands, and she has something named 5 Iron Frenzy.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I'm like, she's heard our band.
Wow.
Or at least heard of us. Or at least the person that designs her jewelry has.
Wow. That's pretty rad. I got the comic book. I got 2 of the comic books, the X-Men comic books. That's crazy,
man.
I got a graded one, a 9.8 graded one of 3. There's only one of 3 graded, and I have one of them in the world.
That's insane.
And then I bought a reader copy. And now I need to find this. Now I need to find this jewelry, this 5 Iron Frenzy jewelry.
When you want to be ensconced in jewels, you will get this.
Yeah.
So what happened to us at that show was, it was the first show of the tour, right?
I want to say it was
Didn't we play there?
I think it was the last show of the tour.
No, because there was like you guys dropped off for the last 3 shows because it was like over Thanksgiving, and we went out. Squad 5-0 played, and it was like
you're right.
The Pacific Northwest.
Okay,
we had 3 shows: Seattle, Portland, and maybe it's just 2 shows.
We just hated up there, so that's why we didn't go.
Good.
I'm just kidding.
Fine. But I think we did this first, and then we did Denver.
Okay.
Maybe. Denver was where we busted out the Star Trek uniforms.
Yes.
I think, because we weren't ready. I had to sew them.
Oh.
Yeah. That's I'm also a male nurse, people, so I got nothing to lose. I love musicals. I'm not afraid to wear pink.
No. Seamstress.
I sew. I have a sewing machine. It's my own. It's my second. Yeah.
That's kind of rad.
Yeah. But anyway, so I think the Supertones manager, DLB, he was a guy, he was kind of famous in tooth and nail circles. He had a verse on like the first Focused album. His name was like Doug Lane Booth or something, but he went by DLB. We knew him because we had been listening to Tooth and Nail bands, and now we're starting this tour, and like we joked around with Tooth and Nail bands all the time. I think we had met this guy before. Right before he comes backstage, Keith calls, is like, hey guys, DLB's coming back. And somebody said, yes. Maybe Dave Bonson, DLB, he went by this. Yes.
Yeah.
So it could have, anyway, Keith refers to him as Dilbo.
Dilbo Baggins.
He's like, Dilbo is coming back. And we are laughing our asses off. And all of a sudden he opens the door and we're still laughing. And he's like, hey guys, what's so funny? And I just told him, I was like, Keith just called you Dilbo. He was like in mid action, like to shake our hands to be like, hey, it's going to be a great tour. And just walked out. And I don't think we ever saw him after that.
No.
I think he might have been like trying to move in, being like, hey, you guys don't have a manager? Turns out he embezzled all this money from the Supertones and they had to sue him and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel bad about that incident. Like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but
you hurt him.
I also feel bad because I was talking about you holding somebody else's penis while you're praying, which I'm just going to throw this out. I'm a Presbyterian, and that is okay in the Presbyterian church.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's what you do with it. It's what you do with it.
If you're Presbyterian, you can do whatever you want as long as you're married. And it could be to another man. PCUSA, you guys should join it.
Yep. You should be Virginia until you're married.
Yeah.
But Dave Bonson. So
Dave Bonson.
Dave
DLB.
Bonson. Yeah. So Davdon was like the name of his management booking company.
Yes.
And so the Supertones had him, and then we started looking for a new booking agent, and we went through Davdon. So we went through his booking company. And we started finding things, and our managers started finding things where people, and again, this is nothing, the Supertones have nothing to do with this. So as much as we criticize the Supertones, they had nothing to do with this whatsoever. I do want to preface with that. But like what we were finding out were people were calling to book the insiders. And then Bonson would say, they're busy, they can't do it, but would you like the Supertones? And so he was booking the Supertones like all these gigs and like festivals and like kind of bigger shows that it got. Now, mind you, guys, I get it. Of the three ska bands, we were the third. I get it. I'm not sitting here like, believe me, listeners, I'm not sitting here like delusional, thinking that
we were number two.
Yeah, you guys were two.
Figuratively
we were three.
And literally.
Yeah, you were a big number two.
Well, number three is
but
like
we
if
were
you
a three.
do number three, it's usually a good time.
If you do a number three, it's usually followed by a hospital visit.
Could be.
Yeah, and. So, again, guys, I'm not delusional thinking like, the only reason the Supertones are as big as they were is because he took – no, that's not what I'm saying. But the occasional big show that would come our way, and we heard of a few, I am going to hold those back. I'll tell you off the air, but I am going to hold that back just because I can't absolutely fact check, but it is what we had heard. But like we had some opportunities to do some really big things in our career. And he was like, well, I'd rather have the Supertones do that. Like the Supertones are my bread and butter. Right. And so they got that. And, but again, they didn't know that. They were just like, oh, we got booked for a show. They didn't know that it got kind of taken away from us. And then it would be like 6 months later, we would
He kicking you
play.
down there, Scraps.
Yeah, like 6 months later, we'd play like Dallas. And then the promoter would be like, oh, yeah, we had the Supertones back like, 6 months ago for this huge festival for this, whatever. And you guys were busy. And we were like, wait, what? And he was like, yeah, we called to get you and you guys were busy. So, and that's how we found out is we would talk to like these promoters and they were like, oh, we tried to get you and you guys were busy. And we're like, we weren't busy. And then they'd say, yeah, like your booking company, Davdon said that you guys, had something else going on. And we were like, absolutely not. So that's
They
when we
gave it to
figured out.
they were like, oh, this is a good deal. Give it to the Supertones. We'll tell them the
Yeah.
insiders are busy.
Yeah. And so that's what happened. And so we were like, oh, screw this. So then we dropped Dave Bonson, Davdon. We dropped them and I forget who we went with after that. I think Tim Tabor had started Transparent, and then I think we just went through him. But yeah, that was something. That Dave Bonson.
Yeah.
You know what else I remember weird with the Greek amphitheater? It was the first like major venue where it was like a legit venue, not like a nice theater in a town. Like it was
It's legit.
Yeah, it's like the place. If you live here in the Detroit area, it's like playing DTE Music Theater, something like that. If you live out west, it's like playing like the Gorge, like that type of place, like a legit where the huge artists come through and play. And I remember we did sound check and I had a baseball hat on. And during sound check, I took my baseball hat off and I put it on the drum riser.
Yeah.
And I walked off stage. And so like a half hour later, I was like, oh crap, my hat. And I went back and I went on the stage and it's called, dark stage. So all the lights before the show starts, all the lights are off on the stage and it's dark.
Yeah.
As people are coming in and finding their seats. And I went to walk up on the stage and some guy's like, where are you going? And I go, I'm going to get my hat. And he's like, you can't. I'm like, what do you mean I can't? It's right there. It's 11 feet from me. And he's like, you can't cross that line. And on the stage, there's a like glow in the dark yellow tape. He's like, you can't pass that line unless you're union or you'll get fined. Now, mind you, I would have thought this was like nonsense. But if you remember, we also played on Ska Mania. We played in like Minnesota where people started throwing toilet paper. Do you remember that show? We played we played this huge like arena type place. It was like a minor league like hockey arena.
Oh yeah, I drank a cup of ketchup.
Yes, you drank the ketchup. Not a cup. You drank like a bottle of ketchup or something like that.
Yes.
And so at that show, at the end, for Ska Mania, we would all come out and we would sing Joy to the World. Like all three ska bands.
Yes.
And people went into the bathrooms of this sporting, arena, and they grabbed a bunch of toilet paper. And at the end, it was toilet paper everywhere. They were throwing it everywhere. And so what happened is the tour, like the Ska Mania tour, we got fined like heavily because we had to pay union guys to clean up all the toilet paper. And so the fine was so huge. And so the Supertones like manager came back and was like livid, obviously not at us, just like livid at the venue. It was like, they're going to charge us, per guy. And they have like 20 guys that are all going to get paid like $50 an hour. And so all of us bands were like, well, what happens if we do it? And so we just went, I don't know if you remember, but we just went and all of us grabbed brooms, like push brooms, all sorts of stuff, and just started sweeping up, and we cleaned the place.
Was I there? Do you remember me being there helping? Because I don't remember at all, and I
don't. But like now, I remember pushing a broom, like we were sweeping up everything. People were like walking the rows of like seats, basically like what the normal like janitorial staff should do. but they were threatening it was going to be like a $20,000 fine or something
Oh,
like that.
and
It was
probably the union guys were like, there goes my overtime. These jackwads are over here
yeah.
taking my money,
But it was the
taking
same thing.
food out of my kids' mouths.
Yeah. But it was the same thing at the Greek amphitheater. So the guy was like, you can't cross that or you get fined. And I'm like, dude, another fine? Like another fine on this tour? And so I was like, seriously, man? I was like, are you union? And he's like, yep. And I go, can you grab my hat? He goes, nope, I'm on my lunch.
Are you kidding?
And he sat in a chair. He sat in a chair and I just like stared at him for 30 seconds and he just stared right back at me. He wasn't eating anything, nothing. And I was like, it's right there. Can I grab it? And he's like, yeah, you can grab it if you want, but you're going to be fined like X amount of dollars. And it's like the X amount is like $2,000.
Yeah.
Because like you're going into dark stage and you're passing and when it can only be union guys. And I was livid. I wanted to fight this guy.
Oh, yeah,
and then
what a punk.
like two more people came up and I'm like, hey, are you guys union? And they're like, yeah. I was like, can you grab my hat? It's right there. And they were like, nope, we're on our lunch. Like we'll grab it. And like we get like a 35-minute lunch. And so I was just like, this is ridiculous. So I just like, went back. And then when the show started and like we went out to play, like I got my hat back. But these guys they couldn't even stand up, walk 11 feet and get me my hat. Like they had to like try and power trip.
And this is what happens when communism wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is why you need to help the Pickle and Boot Shop take down
Satanism. If you take the word union, laborers union, and you scramble the letters, it says Satanism.
Yeah. Also scramble it again. Communism. Same.
Yep.
A lot of people try and tell me that Jesus was a communist because he shared everything and he put all the money from the apostles into a money bag and he gave it to Judas. Well, if you put communism and Judas together
into a bag,
yeah, it's into a bag with all the Scrabble letters. And you mix it up.
Mm-hmm. Pull out a pickle.
It spells communism junior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's the most sound logic these people have ever heard on this cast. They come to this cast this is like Mensa. These are like tips on passing the Mensa test.
Right there.
Boom. Well, you guys, I think we're at the end of the paid portion. And we want to thank you. Again, we thank you every week because I still can't believe that you guys pay to support us. It is amazing. We love it. We're building this silly little community. And the feedback is awesome. And every single day I like go to the bathroom to poop and I like get on social media and I answer questions and chit chat with people and make new friends. And so you guys, I just want to thank you. At 44 years old, I still feel like I'm 18 again, starting a band and people are like starting to get to know our songs. Like singing, like the first time I ever heard somebody like sing one of our songs is like the same way that I feel when I open up Facebook and someone's like posted something or asks a question. Like I really enjoy that. So I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah. And I don't like people or want friends. I don't like friends or people. And all of this makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, we couldn't tell.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe. I mean, I like talking to you. That's all. That's all I want.
And
everybody
that's
else, leave me alone.
And then that's how I pitched this to you. I said, no one's ever going to hear this. All you're going to do is look at me on a video and you're going to talk to me. And then behind your back, I posted this.
I massage my nipples in circles. That's how I get through this every day.
Small circles and every third one a flick.
Oh, I didn't try the flick.
That's my move, dude.
Right there.
That's my move.
Hot.
You do the index finger and the thumb, and you do the rolling. You roll it. So 1, 2, flick. 1, 2, flick.
Okay, guys, and if you're listening and you're like this is in direct conflict with my faith.
Get over it.
Get over it.
Jesus invented nipples.
you can go to the Presbyterian Church USA, the PCUSA, and they will allow it.
Yeah. And plus, my pastor, even after we discuss this stuff, I go to church and my pastor still loves me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really
Now
good.
you've been kicked out. You're a different story.
Several churches.
Several
and
churches
jobs.
you've been booted from.
A lot of jobs and churches.
Yes. Yep. But we're getting through it. We're weathering the storm, as they say.
Nobody thinks it's funny when you're walking around with your pants on your head.
And it's like, Patch Adams did it. Oh, I can't I?
Well, he also wore underwear, but that's another story.
That's where it changes course.
Wow.
Sets the sails for firing. For a severance package.
For severance package.
You're like, this is my severance package. You guys want to see my severance package? I'll put my pants on my head, not wear drawers.
I've got your severance package right here.
Yeah, right there, buddy. Kapow, kapow. Yeah. All right, you guys.
Pickle peeps.
Yeah.
We love you. Thank you so much for allowing Joe and I to make coarse jokes every week.
Yep. All right. Enjoy it. Bye.